So I've been with Discovery Education for the past 11 years. It was actually the first job that I got straight out of university, and I was working in the DC, it's the Silver Spring, Maryland office, as their customer support team member, and fell in love with the company and the mission and the vision of having digital resources in the classroom to help students learn. For Discovery, we were one of the few publishers or partners for the K-12 space. So the Egyptian Knowledge Bank is the world's largest digital library. I've never seen anything like it in the fact of pulling together, world-class publishers and content from around the world to provide access to information and learning materials for the whole country. So with every citizen being able to have access, the specialized council needed to have publishers that addressed the schools and the students and teachers and parents even in the schools. So we provided content for the K-12 students and teachers in kind of 2 to 3 different forms. So now there's about 14,000 English assets and 14,000 Arabic assets. So approximately 28,000 resources for anyone to search across K-12 science and math. So one area is a searchable database. The second area was stringing all content, our best of the best content, into what we called WebEd TV, which was a kind of an extracurricular resource for students and teachers and parents to use in areas of science, math, STEM, career skills, and world topics. We found that the teachers, at that time we were very early on in Egypt. So we did a lot of focus groups, we did a lot of interviews, we did a lot of school visits to really understand how these resources were going to be used. And we found that, teachers really were only going to use something that was, one, approved by the ministry, and two, aligned to the national curriculum. So we then worked with Dr. Tarek to come up with Curriculum Connect. We would take the best of the best content and align it to the national curriculum. And then we also had partnered with the Specialized Council to do professional development for a pilot of 200 schools in the greater Cairo area to use the Egyptian Knowledge Bank, but also learn about STEM and having STEM best practices and 21st century skills to be able to maximize the use of the Egyptian Knowledge Bank in the classroom. So those were the first 2 years. And then Dr. Tarek became the minister and took his big initiatives over to the ministry. And he was looking for a partner in the areas of curriculum and content and professional development to support Education 2.0 as he was rolling out a new curriculum, a 2.0 curriculum to the early grades, KG1, KG2, primary one. So that's kind of the evolution from where we were back in 2015 until 2018 when the minister has the new education system. We were able to pull together a team led by Marty Creel, who is our chief academic officer, a team of science and math and multidisciplinary experts to work with the Ministry of Education and their curriculum department and to review their framework that they were looking for to be the new Education 2.0 framework, and review it in the areas to make sure that it meets the international best practices. We went through and reviewed each standard and each learning objective across the early grades from KG1 to primary 3 to make sure that it had that progression. We provided recommendations to the ministry and Dr. Noel's team with the CCIMD. We went through a series of workshops with the CCIMD department. They're called curriculum academies, where they go through several sessions of learning and collaborative workshops in person where we're all working together on the curriculum frameworks to meet those international best practices. So that's kind of the foundation or the base of the work, and bringing that kind of US international experience from Discovery Education, but also marrying it with the local expertise of the ministry and CCIMD and Egypt, and making sure that we are elevating the work that they do to make sure that it meets that international standard. The books follow several themes. So we have Who Am I as the first theme, then it's the world around me, then it's the way the world works, and then communication. So those throughout the school year, they're going through one theme to the next theme and progressing their learning, from having those 4 C's as well: communication, creativity, collaboration, and critical thinking. So water, for instance, was a big one that the ministry wanted to be sure that students were learning about water and why it's important to conserve water and save water. And we would ensure anything that we did with water and touched on water would have some reference to a local or national issue or even international issue. The second thing was then introducing the teacher's guide, which is separate from the student book, but it taught the teachers on how to implement the content and the curriculum in a literally a step-by-step way. So we actually came up with something that calls this as teacher says, teacher do. The third thing and the most important thing is that we did have that local team, our local team in Egypt. They've been with us since the Egyptian Knowledge Bank. So they were really familiar with Discovery Education and STEM and multidisciplinary and our philosophy. The local team to conduct training to all teachers across the whole country. So we implemented a cascade model of professional development. So these master trainers would come into Cairo, all 5,000 of them, stay for several days, get their training, and then go back to their adaras and work with the local ministry offices there, so the adaras. And that we had Moderea facilitator officers and Adara facilitator officers. Everyone along the way was so critical to making sure that the system worked. Without one person, in the whole process, it would have fallen apart. So we had to get, the MFOs and the IFOs, arrange all of the classrooms for the teachers to come in at the local level to get their training from the master trainers. They had to schedule with the rooms, they had to schedule the release letters, we had to get all the materials. We were shipping materials across the country so that everyone had everything they needed to actually implement the PD. So we taught them about how to be a mentor, how to coach, how to ask the right questions, how to guide your teacher and support them along the way instead of just being that kind of person that would do a checklist. Grade 4 is shifting from multidisciplinary to subject specific. So we now are focused on science and math, and there's other publishers who are focused on social studies and the other subject areas, career skills, English, and ICT. But we're taking the same approach where we have curriculum academies and we work with the curriculum department. Now, the ministry is looking to have a lot of digital resources and infrastructure in place across all grades. Building a digital product is even more time consuming than building a print because we have to produce videos, we have to produce interactives, we have to string it all together. Our local team is really, they are the shining star in all of this. And they really believe in it and they really feel passionate about it and they really love it. I mean, we hear success stories all the time. And I think because they go out and they see it in the classrooms and they see the actual students doing what the curriculum has asked them to do and what the books and the content is doing. And you hear this, like the story of the mother who now can read, or, the baker who feels recognized, from the classroom. They even go out, one of the books has them go out and, shop at the local market and exchange money and understand how money works. So I think also getting people out and seeing what they're doing in the school is another thing that is really important. I have learned so much about myself, about working with people, about my values. And as a company, we stay true to our values too, and ensure that we are producing high quality content for a country and professional development.